welcome to another week of Sambo iRacing. It's week 10, season 2, 2024. We are in the Formula V at everyone's favourite Laguna Seca for what should be another fantastic week of racing. And I know I say that every week. It's because I really enjoy this car. Right, if you are new to the channel, thank you. Welcome. Grab a seat, grab a beer, a coffee, whatever it is you want to do. What we do is we sit in the cockpit and we do one lap where I slow it down, I'll show you the braking markers, then we go to the chase cam for a full speed rundown, and then again back in the cockpit with the driving line on for another full speed final lap. Super, enough of that, let's start the lap. Okay, usual preamble. I started this test session from the V schedule, so it should be the same track conditions that you guys are facing next week, which is a slightly warmer track, about 7 degrees Celsius warmer than it was last season at a roasting 41.7 degrees. It was still the fastest lap I've ever put in here, so hopefully you should find it useful. So we're changing up to 4th gear just before the finish line as we start the lap. Wanting to cut the corner as much as possible without hitting these bollards on the left. Moving over to the right hand side, getting our car really wide out, and what we're looking for is just as we get to this 2 marker on the right hand side here, as we get to this 2 marker, we're going to aim at the apex more or less. I'm going to brake really quite hard in a straight line, just all brakes up to about 97%, so I'm putting like 97 kilos through my brakes here, and then I'm going to trail it off. I'm going to start turning into the apex. As I'm getting there, I'm going to dab my throttle and drop it down into 3rd gear. And then I'm just feeling for the grip. When I know I'm making the corner, back up to 100% throttle nice and early before the 2nd apex. Let the car drift out to the right-hand side, use the full width of the track, get back over to the left-hand side. And again, we're really on the rumble strips here, so we're opening the corner up. And then halfway between the 2 and the 1 marker, we're going to just do a big lift down to about 20%. And then we're going to start building back up in 3rd gear, so we're back on 100% throttle as we get to the apex. The car's going to drift out to the left-hand side, that's fine, don't go on the sand. Again, we're making full use of the track as we always should, and then just as we get to the 2 sign here, we are going to gear up to 4th gear, and we're just going to run it through on full throttle, making sure, again, that you're cutting the corner without hitting the red bollard cone thing, whatever it is. Car's going to drift out to the left hand side, again making full use of the track. Now we want to get right over to the right hand side for turn 5, the most important turn on the track, and I'll show you why here. So as we get to the 2 marker, or midway between the 2 and the 1, sorry, just after the 2, what we're going to do is we're going to brake up to about 50%, and I'm keeping a little bit of maintenance throttle on here because I don't want the back end to lock up and spin out. I'm going to trail that off down here, and as you can see, I'm doing a big blip in 4th gear, and as I get down towards the apex, I'm going to go to 100% and put it in 3rd gear. So I'm getting on the throttle really, really early, and the reason why that's important is it gives you a nice kick out of the turn, and it allows you to change up to 4th gear at 134 kilometers an hour, about 84 miles per hour, and we're now going to keep it in 4th gear all the way up the hill. So we're flat out here. Again, we don't want to hit the red sausage curb, but we want to cut and go over the rumble strip and hold it. Hold it, hold it, hold it. The people of Reddit on Reddit are wrong. It's not 3rd gear up this hill if you get turn 5 right. If you get turn 5 wrong, keep it in 3rd gear. Now for the corkscrew, what we do as we come into this. So just when we get to the top of the hill, just before the 2 marker, I'm going to brake really hard in a straight line, up to 90%. I'm going to trail it off nice and quickly. I'm going to drop it down into 3rd gear, down at the apex here. So this is as far as you can cut. You've got to keep the right-hand tyre on the sort of white line and the rumble strip. I'm changing up to 3rd gear. I'm getting straight back on the throttle to control the rear, the rotation going on here. And now I'm aiming not really for the double tree, it's more for the single tree to the right of that, and I'm just going to keep it belted down in 3rd gear. I'm going to cut a little bit of the gravel here, keeping the left-hand tyres on the track. I'm going to keep it revved out in 3rd gear, then I'm going to change to 4th gear as we come around this corner, and again, we want to cut it as much as possible here on turn 9, but without hitting the red sausage curb. Get it back over to the left-hand side, right onto the rumble strip, and just as we get to the 2 marker, we're going to do a big lift down to about 15%, and now I'm going to build straight back up. I'm keeping it in 4th gear and building back up on the throttle so that I'm at 100% throttle, well ahead of the apex here of turn number 10. So as you can see, again, not hitting the sausage curb, but I'm keeping it on the rumble strip. Car's going to drift out to the left-hand side. That's fine. Don't go on the sand. Back over to the right-hand side. And now what we're looking for is midway between the 2 and the 1 marker. I'm going to start braking in a straight line, really quite hard, up to about 80%. And again, same as always, I'm going to start trailing that off. I'm going to blip the throttle as I get ready to change to 3rd gear. Now, ideally, I wouldn't run over this sausage curb. I'd quite like my left wheels to either be on the inside of it or the outside of it, but it didn't actually harm my lap too much, cost me a couple of hundred, something like that. So I'm back on 100% throttle at the apex. I had to wait a slight fraction longer because I knew I was going over the sausage curb. Let your car drift out. We're in 3rd gear. It feels like it's bogged down a little bit, but 3rd is definitely faster than 2nd here. And because this is the flying lap, rather than aiming back over to the left-hand side towards the Firestone advert up ahead, we're just going to go straight down the white line to keep the track as short as possible and over the line for a 141.218. Park your car up, grab yourself a sandwich, and pull off again. Right, full speed from the chase cam. Okay, here we are, full speed lap, so you can see the telemetry a bit better. So we're up in 4th gear, getting as close to the cones as possible. Move over to the right-hand side, braking hard at the 2. Trail it off all the way down to the apex, down to 3rd gear, get on the throttle, hold it on there. Car will drift down, back over to the left-hand side. Looking for between the 2 and the 1 marker, big lift, back on the throttle, don't hit the sausage curb. Up to 4th gear. And again, no lift here, just powering it through. Always make full use of the track, and that includes the rumble strips. Nice wide entry here into 5, really important. Bit of maintenance throttle, onto 3rd gear nice and early. Up to 4th gear before the bridge. Cutting the corner here without hitting the sausage curb once again. Over to the left-hand side. Trying to keep the car as straight as possible on entry into the corkscrew. Hard braking, trail it off quickly. Bit of maintenance throttle, cutting both corners as much as you're allowed. Up to 4th gear. Again, cutting the corner without hitting the sausage. Back over to the left-hand side. At the 2, we're going to do a big lift. Back on the throttle. Let it drift out. Now we're looking for midway between the 2 and the 1 markers. Braking hard in a straight line. Trailing it off. Try not to hit the sausage curb. Back in 3rd gear. Keeping the car as straight as possible, aiming for the line here. Right, one more time with the driving line on from the cockpit. Right, quick one this week. Let's finish it off. Thanks for watching. I've been Sambo iRacing. I'll see you guys in the week.